Yo, what's up guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. I recently had a crazy run in the Go Battle League. I did it live on stream. If you want to go follow me on stream on my Twitch channel, I battle there live most weekdays around 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central Time. And we actually hit number 14 on the global leaderboard, hitting 3287 elo. Pretty crazy run. It's a screenshot there of the Go Battle League leaderboard. If you just Google like GBL leaderboard, you can go find that. It updates usually every single day, and it lists the top 500 elo players every day. And of course, the Go Battle League varies so much that people will climb. I've had days where I fall completely off the leaderboard, and then I'm back in the top 30, and then I'm down in the 300s. It varies a lot day to day. But yeah, hitting number 14, of course, is very cool. And this is the team: Shadow Abomasnow, Shadow Feraligatr, and Clodsire. So a fairly unique team. And we're going to get straight into it. And once again, one of those runs where we identified what we were seeing and kind of built a team around it. So I was seeing a lot of teams that were running like Azumarill and Dragonite leads. And I figured Abomasnow does well against both of those. Occasional grass lead as well. And I also saw like a lot of ground types in the back, whether that be like Whiscash or Gligar, where Feraligatr does pretty well against those as well. And Abomasnow, some teams were like ABA weak to, so I really identified Abomasnow as a lead that was kind of core breaking some teams. And then Clodsire kind of provides that like Charger Bug coverage. Charger Bug's pretty common right now. And this team has some obvious weaknesses. Things like Alolan Sandslash, Skarmory are going to be weak to, weak for this lead, and the back of Clodsire kind of ABA weak to those. But we identified this team and had a pretty crazy run with it. So here we go. Togedemaru, kind of one of those weird matchups, right, where it's a steel type, but it's actually not that bad. And this is a matchup where we know they could have access to Gyro Ball, which would be devastating for Abomasnow, but usually they're running Wild Charge Fell Stinger, so we're just probably going to assume they're not running Gyro Ball. Kind of like a sports analogy, right? Sometimes you tip the cap, they say. Like if you're playing good defense and they hit a fadeaway over the contested outstretched arm, you just got to tip the cap. If they Gyro Ball us and one-shot us, we'll just tip the cap. They instead land Wild Charge, and then we catch a move onto our Clodsire. And the reason I'm willing to do this is I was thinking with a Togedemaru lead, they probably have some sort of Clodsire like hard check. So I don't know how much play Clodsire is going to have anyway. So I'm just willing to sacrifice it here against Gligar. Unfortunately for us, I think because of that slight chip damage, the dig might actually be enough to knock out, versus normally we would actually be able to live and get to a second Stone Edge to at least put it low. But this puts things a little bit awkward for us. I do have a move stored on Abomasnow, right? So I'm going to throw this instantly and either knock out the Gligar or get that final Protect Shield. We knock it out. We're getting ready to potentially instantly swap here. Togedemaru is very low and is dry. And what's in the back? Their own Feraligatr. Very interesting. They're going to instant Hydro. And because I know it's a Hydro, I'm willing to take this. And this starts to get very awkward. I'm going to Hydro myself. And now we know they're one ahead. They shield. We know the catch is possible. So that is a concern. And we eventually throw. Man, that was getting awfully close because we thought the catch was possible. Luckily, they don't catch. And our opponent, I think, makes a misplay. Not sure what happened there. Because we got two Powder Snows, and then we Weather Ball for the win. So it was a really awkward endgame. I feel like the opponent, I don't know if they had enough energy, but that Powder Snow that snuck through actually knocked out. So like, I wonder if they threw immediately, if they could have won the game, because we got like an extra Powder Snow there somehow. So that was like a really weird looking endgame. Not sure exactly what happened. We see Shadow Feraligatr here. This is very awkward. So we're going to try and deal with this as best as we can. Going to bait the Weather Ball. It is caught on a Registeel. This is not good at all. But we do have a very good answer for this. So what we're going to do is build up 7 Powder Snows before they can threaten us with a move. And then go into Clodsire. They're going to throw a charge attack here. Is this the game I'm thinking of? Yes, it is, dude. Are you kidding me? Flash Cannon Registeel. What is this shenanigans? What is this shenanigans, dude? A Flash Cannon Registeel. When is the last time you saw Flash Cannon Registeel? And look how much these Flash Cannons are doing there. It looks like it's going to be able to three-shot my Clodsire. And now I'm not even going to be able to retain Switch, it looks like. Yeah, I decided to let it go because I didn't feel like it was worth it at this point to go down a shield. Because if I shield, they can simply win the Chart Attack part against my Clodsire. They take back Switch. I go for the Weather Ball. Honestly, Energy Ball probably would have been better here. It would have been a lot of damage. I swap. They stay for a bit. Their opposing Feraligatr has so much energy. This is really concerning. I let this Hydro Cannon go through, and now my concern is, do I even reach 2 Hydro Cannons here before getting farmed down? It's going to be close. Hydro Cannon comes through. Come on, Gator. It's not going to get there, and this game is pretty much over at this point. They still have a fairly healthy Annihilate. If it wasn't for that Registeel having Flash Cannon, though, I think this would have been a very comfortable win. This would have been a very comfortable win because I would have been able to not have to worry at all about that energy from Reggie. I would have come out with much more health, a ton of energy. Excuse me. The opposing Feraligatr would have been forced to throw energy at Clod right away. So that was pretty crazy. We basically lost because our opponent was running Flash Cannon Registeel. So credit to them for spicing things up. I wonder what exactly they're running it for. Maybe Gligar, I guess. Gligar is probably the main thing that it actually makes sense for in the current meta, but I think not having Focus Blast is going to hurt you in a lot of situations, and not having Zap Cannon, of course, you kind of need Zap Cannon for a lot of water types and having that debuff as well. Okay, Vigoroth lead is very tough for this team if you guys decide to run it. Vigoroth, a bit of a core breaker. I typically will swap Clodsire, and sometimes when you have a lead that's like really bad for 2 of your Pokemon, you just have to risk going into your best answer and hope that they stay in or hope that it causes them an issue. And that's what happens here, right? They don't seem to have an answer for Clodsire, so they're staying in with Vigoroth, and this is as much as we can ask for. They don't have an answer. They don't have an answer, so they're staying in with Vig and going for the Body Slam here. Do I put up a shield? No, I'm anticipating that I live this and can get off another move. I do live. I get off a Parting Stone Edge. I just got both shields from Vigoroth and landed a Stone Edge. This is looking pretty good. I come in back with Abomasnow. And this could be a Rock Slide, so I do respect it with a shield. This would do a ton of damage to Abomasnow. Gonna overfarm here. Do throw the Weather Ball before another Body Slam. And this is gonna knock out Vigoroth, so we're up a shield. In comes Skelly, but we've got a Feraligatr, and it's Wigglytuff in the back. Okay, so this is not over yet. These charms are really gonna add up. I need to get rid of this Wiggly with enough health to reach a Hydro Cannon against that Skeledirge. We throw on alignment, and now it comes down to whether I live 2 Incinerates. It's going to be really close. They're resisted. Live the first, live the second, and Feraligatr, the superior Gator in this situation, is going to knock out the Skeledirge with a sliver of health. That must have been like 2 HP. And gets the win. So Vigoroth, one of the worst leads you can see. Lucky for us, they were basically triple weak to Clodsire. Abomasnow had like nowhere to go, and they, in their mind, right, they're thinking, okay, as long as I can beat this Clodsire, I can just line up my Skeledirge against the Abomasnow, and I'm probably going to be fine. Unfortunately for them, they had to go down 2 shields, and that was too much for them to overcome with the Feraligatr. Although Wigglytuff still made it extremely close because Wigglytuff is just too oppressive in the 0 shield. Amazing lead into Altaria. They swap Gator, though. We don't have an obvious answer. We go immediately for Weather Ball. This looks really weird, right? There's no reason for them to shield. They know it's a Weather Ball, but we have to make sure we secure Switch. That's what we're going for here. We want to secure the Switch advantage, and we're going to shield up an attack here and go for our Hydro Cannon immediately because this should knock out from this range. We want to secure the Switch advantage. That's our goal. Hydro Cannon knocks out. They're content with the shield advantage, it appears. I'm going to build up to the Ice Beam and bait the Hydro Cannon. I'm hoping this bait allows me to potentially reach an Ice Beam and get both shields. I do get the bait. Very nice. Doesn't look like I'm going to quite get there, so I'm going to have to settle for Hydro Cannon. Let's see if their counts were on point here, knowing that I was still 1 away. Yep, very nice counting by the opponent. But that chip damage is really nice, because now they probably don't even live enough Powder Snows to get to 2 Sky Attacks here. They do have a lot of energy, though. So they're going to throw a Sky Attack here. We're going to put up a shield, so we have a 2-on-1 against the final Pokemon. And it is a Registeel, and Clod is just so dominant here that we should be pretty smooth sailing. Our opponent, let's hope they're not running Flash Cannon like that other person. Thank you. Thank goodness. And Clod just going to completely wall this Registeel. Clod with no expression. But the opponent's fighting it out. Credit to them. They're not giving up. And at this point, you just want to not give your opponent any win conditions, right? So we're just going to make sure we overfarm as much as possible. A lose condition could be like throwing Earthquake right away and not building up anything extra, because then maybe they could farm down and like double Sky Attack. So we're just going to overfarm as much as possible. We already have a Stone Edge ready. And then we almost have a Weather Ball with Abomasnow, so our switch timer's up. We swap, throw the Weather Ball, and win this one very comfortably. Had enough health as well, where Clod probably could have reached another Stone Edge before Altaria, so I kind of forget where Altaria was with energy, but I don't think it had that much energy. On to the next one. Here we go. You see the Elo's at 3151, so already pretty high. You know what's funny? I don't think I ever tweeted hitting Legend this season. So, I don't know if I should tweet about hitting 14 on the leaderboard. I had a fun weekend this past weekend. We had a bunch of local tournaments in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We had 7 total tournaments. I was able to win 2. I ended up top cutting, I believe, 5 out of 7 tournaments. And the 2 tournaments I did not top cut were a bit unlucky, because I went 3-1 in the groups in the Swiss rounds, and I was the 5th place. There was like a 4-way tie for 3-1, and unfortunately I had the worst opponent win percentage out of all the 3-1s. So I bubbled out of the top cut based off of opponent's win percentage. So a little bit unlucky in that regard, but still pretty proud of how I played, and was especially proud on Saturday. Was able to win 2 tournaments back to back, so that was pretty nice. Gave me a good feel for what I want to run in Worlds potentially. We'll definitely do some more practice, some more tweaks, as I think the team has a few weaknesses, but I was able to overcome those weaknesses in a couple of matches, so might be something I'm willing to go with, even though I know it has a few weaknesses. Anyway, we lead into the Lantern. They swap Abomasnow, or they swap Annihilate into our Abomasnow, and we respond with Clod. Now, you could go for Alligator here as well, especially because with the Lantern lead, right, even if Feraligatr doesn't maintain swap, it doesn't really matter, right? But the problem is, let's say it's something like a Skarmory in back, then I would be kind of toast. And Lantern can oftentimes be paired with Skarmory, right? So that's, I think, the main reason I counter swap Clod here, is if there was a Skarmory, I do want to try and maintain swap here. Plus, you slightly outpace Annihilate here. If you're able to swap quickly enough and shield Shadow Ball correctly, and look at that, it is the Skarmory. The concern here, though, is this Skarmory is going to get a big farm down. Luckily, Feraligatr is so spammy, and this Stone Edge is actually pretty big. Landing that Stone Edge for some nice chip damage is pretty big. Going to help put this into Hydro Cannon range. And check out what happens here. I have the Hydro Cannon loaded. I'm anticipating him to swap right away, so I don't throw it. I do one first, and then they catch anyway. So really nice play by the opponent. I could have already won the game by now, but they make a catch. And now just to secure it, I'm going to make sure I bank the Hydro Cannon right. Very simple. If I don't bank that Hydro Cannon, I give my opponent a potential win condition. But we make sure to bank the Hydro Cannon. Now we should be smooth sailing. And we're just going to make this extra clean here. We're going to build up extra energy so we can land a Weather Ball onto Skarmory just to make sure that we have it in Hydro Cannon range. I think it already is in Hydro Cannon range, but kind of close, actually. So this Weather Ball will definitely put it in Hydro Cannon range. And, yeah, I think it already was. But, yeah, considering the Weather Ball nearly knocked out, I think it was in Hydro Cannon range. And there we go. Feraligatr takes out Shiny Skarmory, by the way. Very cool. Nice little win there. Gives us a 4-1 set with this team. Dino is the reward. Dino, the little dragon. Let's see what this puts us at. 3189, very nice. Skip ahead a little bit. Skip to my Lou. Rafer Alston, shout out. When's the last time you heard Rafer Alston? That's a nice little nuanced NBA reference to my NBA fans that watch the channel. Next opponent, Abomasnow, Empoleon, tough lead. Bit of a core breaker here, right? Good against both Abomasnow and Clod. So I swap, they stay, and they give me the opportunity to throw first here, which is nice, right? Gives me the opportunity to get that one-turn swap back, essentially. And I'm going to shield. They haven't pivoted yet, so doesn't seem like they have an obvious answer. They then pivot into Goodra. I'm going to build up to Ice Beam and bait the Hydro Cannon here. This is a little bit risky because if they call this, it's kind of bad for me. Luckily, I do get the shield. And it lets me get to another Hydro before going down. I like this because this makes it more of a comfortable Powder Snow down. And, oh, I remember this now. Opponent makes a nice read. They actually don't. They actually let me do more fast attacks to give me less farm here. Now, I wonder if it would have been better if I just stayed in and Energy Ball the Empoleon. But instead I swap. And dude, I literally could have Earthquaked there. It's so annoying. Like, you think they're going to catch, so sometimes you don't throw, and then I let him catch on Trev. Literally everything going, just getting completely outplayed here in the end game. Just getting completely outplayed by the opponent, making me look silly in front of all of you guys watching. Rise, you only post the wins. Well, right now I'm posting me getting absolutely cooked. I'm trying to let this guy take out my Clod because I feel like I need energy on my Abomasnow. I get the farm down, and then he top lefts, and I think the opponent gave up prematurely. I think the Empoleon would have, we were discussing this on my stream, I think the Empoleon would have outpaced the Abomasnow there, but I think they were off on their counts or something, and they like maybe forgot. I think the opposing trainer might have actually forgot their own brilliant play of stop attacking and letting my Abomasnow get less farm by taking more Shadow Claw damage on the Feraligatr, on their Goodra. I think they might have forgot that they did that because they top lefted and my Abomasnow was still, you saw, like 3 Powder Snow shy of Energy Ball. So they top lefted, and I think they actually had us there. So that's an example of don't top left, which we see from time to time. Don't top left till it's over. Here we go. Abomasnow into Azumarill. Very favorable lead. And you're going to see, I remember this game very well. You're going to see a safe swap Typhlosion. And this gets awkward. This gets awkward. We go for the Stone Edge. And if you're wondering why not Feraligatr safe swap Rise, water against fire, why not swap Feraligatr here? Well, it's only 2 Incinerates to every Thunder Punch, right? That's 10 turns. It's also 10 turns to every Hydro Cannon. So you actually get outpaced if you're Feraligatr, and Typhlosion can take back Switch in that matchup in all even shield scenario if it's ahead of turn. So I knew I couldn't really counter swap Feraligatr, and now Feraligatr is going to throw energy here. He's actually going to be willing to expend another shield, and I kind of have to shield this. We're going to see what's in the back. We do get the farm, which is kind of nice. Comes back in with Azu, which kind of throws me for a loop. I store all the energy. In comes Charge Bug, and unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to get to another Weather Ball here before this X-Scissor. This is tough. And I know I probably need to get damage off on Azu, and it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. Maybe if I had thrown earlier. No, I don't think so. I think I was too low. Even if I had thrown the Weather Ball earlier, the most I'm ever getting to that Azu is maybe a Weather Ball, and that's just not going to provide enough damage So this was one of those frustrating games where you have a positive lead, and I really don't feel or don't know what I could have done differently to win this game. I was thinking about it afterwards, and I really don't know if I can win this game other than maybe maybe playing out the secondary matchup more and shielding blast burns, getting like shields down, and then maybe getting like farm. I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know how I win that game, to be honest. Because I think no matter what, Typhlosion's going to get to that second blast burn before I get to the second Stone Edge, right? And then from there, I'm just in a bad spot. So that was one of those weird games where I have a positive lead, and I was thinking about it after the fact, and I really don't know what I could have done. I'm going to guesstimate over under 3.5 comments telling me exactly what they think I rise. Carlos here, you easily could have just counter swapped for Alligator because it's a water type and a Typhlosion, and you would have just won the game on the spot. No, we literally just explained that, Carlos. Typhlosion just will outpace because it's a turn ahead with the Thunder Punch. That doesn't even make any sense. Okay, jeez, sorry if that was rude. But yeah, I really don't know what I could have done there. If you like give proper time to think about it and feel like you have like a legitimate explanation that you feel like makes sense, then maybe offer that about how I could have won that game, because I'm all ears. It's like weird, right? Because on paper it feels like my team should win that, but I don't know how I overcome the Typhlosion safe swap, because I can't stay. I can't counter swap. I don't think I can counter swap for Alligator. I think I just lose. I think I have to counter swap Clod, but if I counter swap Clod, I don't think I can retain Switch. Oh my gosh. I don't know. But it feels like on paper my team should beat that team. It's so weird. That matchup's hurting my brain, dude. Anyway, Abomasnow into Lantern. Okay, Wiggles. Honestly, I should probably instant counter swap Clod, right? I don't know why I'm not. But I Weather Ball chipped first. I guess this kind of makes sense, like help secure this matchup. Because I don't know, without Sludge Bomb, maybe Wiggles could pull off some cheese and like flip this with like the Icy Wind baits. But I guess this should help secure it. I think I threw after 5 there, which is not proper timing. Unless I saw that wrong, maybe it was 4. Oh, look at that kind of nasty undercharge. Little bit nasty. Got myself 2 extra mud shots, no big deal. Is anybody impressed with that? If you were impressed, let me know. I'd appreciate it. And the cool thing with Clod is how bulky it is, right? We're going to live a Surf here and get to another Earthquake, which will threaten to knock out the Lantern. Give ourselves a 2-on-1 potentially against whatever the back Pokemon is. Opponent has to make a decision. Do they put up a shield or do they let Lantern go? They let Lantern go. We've got a 2-on-1 fast break. It is Powder Snow A9. It does get a little head start. And actually, this endgame is closer than you'd think. You'd think we're just like completely dominant here, right? Because we've got 2 Pokemon against 1, and this is a slightly favorable matchup for Alligator. But with the spamminess of A9 and these Powder Snow slowly chunking, it actually ends up being kind of close. I make a catch onto Abomasnow, but the catch actually doesn't do me a ton because it just provides a little bit of farm. But it does kind of save me a shield. Now they need to bait Weather Ball and have Psyshock to have themselves a chance. This is a charge attack priority, so if this is Psyshock, this is concerning. This could potentially knock me out and win them the game. It's a charge attack priority on that last one, so I have this next one coming through. It is a Psyshock, but for Alligator hangs on. Look how close that game was. That is actually pretty ridiculous. And a GG. Wow. Shadow A9's kind of insane, man. And to be fair, their 2 successful Weather Ball baits allowed them to make that close, right? If I'm able to call one of those Weather Ball baits, I can win the game. But the opposite side of the coin is, what if they Psyshock me through 2 shields and then I don't live the Powder Snows, and then everyone says, Rise, why didn't you shield? You had that. So sometimes it's hindsight's 2020, right? That's the saying. Finding opponent. We got a couple more battles in this video. Starting to see those Q times. Don't threaten me with a Q time. I was going to make that my stream title tomorrow. Is that too PG-13? Let me know. We like to keep the channel family friendly. I thought that was kind of funny. Do you guys think that stream title would be funny, or is that not does that not go with like my brand image? Anyway, Clod into Annihilate. We shield the Shadow Ball. That could be like the name of a song. Shield the Shadow Ball. I don't know. We're getting a little bit crazy right now. They shield Earthquake, which is totally fine. We do want to retain switch advantage if possible, right? We'd love to keep Abomasnow onto the Azumarill if possible. Shadow Ball does connect, and I'm okay with that because now I know I can outpace, because it's always going to be 8 for the Annihilate, and it's always going to be 8 and then 7 for me. 8, 7, 7, 7. They catch on Altaria, which is really bad news for me. Really nice catch by them. However, I have a really hard response here. Shields are down, and I can actually overfarm a little bit. This is where keeping track of your energy and knowing your counts is important, so I can overfarm just to the moment before they reach Sky Attack. Give myself extra energy. Now, if Annihilate comes back, I can throw a move at it. I think I could have thrown Weather Ball there first, but I still have a shield to hide behind, remember? I throw Weather Ball here because I feel like it's just about in Weather Ball range, and I'm chilling here because Azumarill has no energy, so I know I can outpace it to Energy Ball. Gonna do 7 Powder Snows, throw right before the Ice Beam. So even though our opponent made a beautiful catch on the Earthquake, they also allowed us to just set up our Abomasnow, and then we make kind of an unnecessary catch. This was this was completely not necessary. But they made the Earthquake catch on us, right? So we got a catch back on them. Probably not as cool. Their Earthquake catch was a little bit more impressive. A little bit more impressive catching an Earthquake on Altaria than an Ice Beam on Feraligatr. But we had to give them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine, I guess. But we had a very favorable composition there. Of course, Abomasnow was a very tough lead for them. I don't think our opponent should have swapped, personally. I think they probably, considering that an Altaria in back, our opponent probably should have just stayed in, soft lost with the Azumarill, farmed down with Annihilate, and that would have been much more awkward for us to deal with than the way they played that. Because once they swapped an Annihilate and we could kind of neutralize it, Abomasnow was just way too tough for their team. So if our opponent plays us again, maybe if they play it that way, might be tougher for us to deal with. Great lead here for the Snowman. They swap in Gator. Once again, Gator, a little bit awkward for us. This time we played a little bit differently. I do actually build up the Energy Ball this time. And see how this is different. It actually allows them to crunch us. So now this is not great. They get the debuff as well. I'm going to bait the Weather Ball here. I do successfully get the shield. Then I swap Gator. So we're playing it a little bit differently this time. I do put up a shield. Gonna respect potential crunch. I get baited with Hydro Cannon. They are in Hydro Cannon range, so I want to make sure you put them in Hydro Cannon range, and we knock it out. One shield is down. I'm going to throw Ice Beam here after 4. People are usually reluctant to shield their Mandibuzz, especially when you don't even know if they're even running Ice Beam right. I might even put up a shield here. Yeah, I think I put up a shield. Considering that they came back in with Mandibuzz, I was like, maybe they don't have a great answer for Gator. We land the Hydro, and it's quagging back, and now I'm thinking it's a great thing I kept Gator here. I was willing to build up to 5 because I know Aqua Tail wouldn't quite knock out, or at least I didn't think it would quite knock out from where I was at the time. They eventually throw energy here. Now Aqua Tail will be enough to knock out. I got all shields down, though, and this is where you're going to see the bulk of Clodsire come into play. I'm not even going to bother coming in Abomasnow. I'm going to judge how much an Aqua Tail does, and as long as I can withstand 2 Aqua Tails, I should be fine here. So Aqua Tail coming through from Quag doesn't put us into the yellow. This tells me I can definitely withstand 2 Aqua Tails. Going to go for this Earthquake here, and a rare situation where Clodsire may actually defeat his brother Quagsire and gets the victory. Very nice. That brings us to the end of these 2 sets here. I think that 4-1 put me into the 3200s. We catch a Lickitung here. And then I had a couple of sets over the course of the weekend, kind of in between my tournaments and such. Had some fluctuations, had like a 1-4, had a couple 5-0s with this team. So it has overall been pretty solid for me. 32-23 you see there. And I recommend you guys try it out. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. If you're new, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. And all that said, thank you so much for watching. Number 14 on the global leaderboard. Rise, can I run Sludge Bomb on Clodsire? Can I run Poison Sting? You can. I opted for this moveset. Rise, can I run Crunch on Feraligatr? You can. Rise, can I run Icy Wind instead of Weather Ball on Abomasnow? You can. These are the movesets I opted for. If you feel like certain moveset adjustments help you give certain better play against other Pokemon, that is certainly worth investigating. But this is the team with the certain movesets I ran, and it worked out, I thought, the best for me. So feel free to give it any adjustments you like. And all that said, thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.